One of the more interesting and amazing effects that we can, as lighting designers, use in our designs is color. So in this video, we're going to explore the interaction between color and light. So let's start out by looking into the sun's light, the daylight that is around us all the time and that we as humans have evolved with. The wavelengths and the appearance of daylight varies, and it varies according to atmospheric conditions. Is it cloudy? Is it clear? All right. It varies according to time of day. Daylight at sunset is going to be much more red. It's going to be warmer than the daylight at noon. And you can see that in these two pictures here. And it also varies according to the direction. Where is the sun coming from? Uh, Northern light, all right, is going to be more blue or green versus southern light is going to be more warm. And here's one of my favorite illustrations from your textbook. And it's demonstrating how Impressionist artists, in this case Monet, studied how the appearance of the colors and the appearance of the objects changed and varied with different conditions of light. So here we see the same object. It is a cathedral. All right, in two different light conditions. On the left, we have the full sun hitting, and we have a kind of a cool light with sharp shadows. And on the right, we have evening light. It's a much lower angle. All right, so we're not getting those same shadows, and it's a much warmer tone. It turns out that colors are subjective, and how colors appear to any individual is determined by a whole lot of different factors. There are some physiological or anatomical factors of your brain and your eyes, right? There can be color blindness. Um, Also, age has a huge effect on how people view colors. There are different cultural meanings attached to many colors, and individual life experiences with colors can affect what they mean to a particular person. Color consistency, which we'll talk about briefly later, and many other psychological factors. Colors can also appear different under different light sources. Right? So light produced by specific lamps will determine the apparent color of the items. And this is a fancy word that you don't need to remember, but it's called metamerism. All right? It's when two colors are not actually the same. They will reflect different wavelengths of light. But in a specific lighting condition, they do look the same. And you probably have already come across this when you're trying to, for example, match paint colors to a fabric. And they look the same in one lighting condition, and then you walk over to the window and they don't match at all. So the easiest solution here is to check your materials, your fabrics, your paints um, under different light sources. So here are some other things that can determine the observed or subjective color of an item and could be affected by texture, room size, light levels, and the directional effects of lighting. That's going to be brightness and glare and reflection. Also, simultaneous contrast, right? A color is going to appear different based on its surroundings. And here are some examples. Here on the left, we've got a green and a pink, and there's a blue sample in between. Looks almost the same, but when you pull those colors out at the bottom, they are very definitely different.